Hello, welcome to the Esthering Podcast, Life in the Ozone, where what you've been through matters. I'm your host, Adrianne B. Jackson, ABJ, the Esthering Queen. And ladies and gentlemen, I feel blessed to have this wonderful, delightful, highly talented, and creative person with us today. So without further ado, let me introduce the Free Your Mind podcaster, Tiffanie McCall.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? How you doing today, Miss
Oh,
Adrian?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just so glad to have you here. I'm so glad. I don't know what to do with myself. It is truly a privilege. Definitely. Okay.
Yeah,
It is
yes.
truly,
I'm
it's
honored
truly.
to be here. I appreciate you asking me,
Oh,
little old me, to come on.
you're actually the first person. The other person that was here with me before that I did have an interview with. That's
hmm
she and I, we're like becoming podcasters together.
Yeah.
She's my girl, so we was like, yeah, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this interview. But I say that you're really my number one, and you're my first person I have here on the podcast to interview.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I still feel like I'm trying to become a podcaster too. So we all in this thing together.
Well, you are doing very well. I love everything I see that you have put out there. So let's get started because I'm
hmm
ready. I'm ready to get on into it. First, I want you to just go ahead and please tell us a little bit about yourself. Don't tell too much because I got a lot of questions to ask.
Okay. Well, like she said, my name is Tiffanie McCall, and I am the host of the Free Your Mind podcast, where we have transformative conversations created to empower your mind, shift your perspective so that you can start to create the life that you want to live. And that's what
Yeah,
we do. Yeah. hmm
yes. And I have been checking them out and I'm just like all in. Okay. I definitely am. I am definitely,
Thank you.
I'm all in. But we're going to start. I have my questions. This is going
Okay.
to help us get into it, help me, who I told you, well, I don't know if I told you, but I do deal with a lot of anxiety. And so I have to like calm myself. That's why when I watch your podcast, it's like, okay, this is bringing me down. This is what I like. My
I've been
shoulders.
told I have like a calming tone. I don't hear the calming because in my mind it's like wow, 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 wow.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I've been
Oh, yeah,
told
you have
it's
a comment on
a
me. I'm
calming tone.
anxiety 101. I'm
that's
anxiety.
that's all right. We in this thing together. We in it
Here's what
together.
I got. Here's what I got from you. Okay, you
Okay.
produce your segments. You're like, okay, so this segment. Okay, so my first segment. Okay,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
this is going to be the inner shift. Okay,
Okay. I love
we're
it.
gonna
Cause
call
you
this
know
the
we
inner
had
shift.
the
We're
you know
taking
we
this
have
from
the
you,
shift.
and
Yes.
because you
All
have
of that.
the shift is all yours. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and this is
Mm-hmm.
so why my questions is going to be directed to that shift.
All
Okay.
right. Let's go.
All about your shift. What was your most surprising belief you had to let go of to truly free your mind?
Oh, that's a good one. You starting off with the bangers here. I think the so ask me the question one more time. What was my most surprising shift?
What was your most surprising belief
Oh, believed.
that you had that had to free your mind of? Like, so what was it that made you say, I need to free my mind?
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I don't know if it was one in particular, but I was in I'll give you when the light bulb first went off, before any action was taken, before I actually got help or did anything about it, that moment where I realized something needed to shift. I was in a relationship which was very, very toxic.
Okay.
And at this one particular, we got into arguments often. Okay. One thing we did was go back and forth. And this one particular time, they called me out my name in a
Okay.
way that I had heard them say those words before, and I can't even say that they never said it in the series of the cuss out that they did. But it was
Okay.
this one particular time they said it, and I was like, "Wait, who are you talking to?
Right.
Like, who do you think you're talking to?" And as I was like, because I was out at a party, and I don't know if you've ever been, but like when you getting into it, somebody who's not at the party, you like stepping away. Your friends are having fun, and you're on the phone yelling and screaming, going back and forth, arguing. So I said, let me just leave and go home and deal with this. So
Right.
on my drive home, and as I was home, I was just like, where did this come from? Like, how did I get here? And I started like I said, that light bulb went off. It was like, something you have done has made this person feel so comfortable enough to talk to you any kind of way, call you out of your name in this way. And it was like, I have to do something else. Like, whatever I've been doing, I have to do something else. That was just like the light bulb.
Yeah, I do understand. I do truly understand, because that's one of my pet peeves. That is definitely one of my pet peeves. I believe in respect. I'm going to respect you, and you're going to respect me. I've just always been, kind of hardcore about that in my life. It's like just make sure we keep this, nice and clean. And so I understand totally what you mean, because that is one of my pet peeves. Call me out my name, and
and I can't even say that. I can't even say that this was the first time. I can't, honestly, I can't say that. But I will say, like, once you get fed up, like they have that song, like, when a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. Honestly, when I get fed up, that is when I recognize that there's a need for a shift. And I do love that you called it the inner shift first, because I honestly feel like the work has to be done in your mind first before there's any, you have to make a decision that you want to change, or that where you are is not where you want to be. Even if you don't know how to go anywhere, you don't know what the step is, the very first thing is just acknowledging, I don't like this no more.
A change needs to come.
Yep. Yeah. Because once you start having those thoughts.
Yeah. I think because you're so nice, it seems like, your whole personality seems like, she's so nice, everything calm. You bring the calm, at least for me, that's how I feel. You bring the calm.
I will say that has come after a lot of work. Okay. And my natural demeanor is fun. Like my mind is very free, and I know it's kind of cliche because it's what I say all the time, but I really have little cares. Like, I really have little concerns or worries, because I've learned along my journey from that very moment into now, I've learned so many things about self-accountability, about like, your problem is not really my problem. Right. I do what I want to do. So there's not much that's going to take me out my box. Now, the drivers in DC, that's where I live. These drivers here in DC, they have a way of getting me out that box.
Okay, so you're in DC right now?
Yes, I'm in DC. Yeah,
I didn't know you was in DC. Actually, I thought you were in Atlanta. I really did.
No, I know everybody is in Atlanta, right? But no, I'm in DC. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm here in Atlanta, but I like the East Coast. I'm from New York originally, so yeah, I like the East Coast.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm originally from Philadelphia.
Virginia, DC area. I like the DMV.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good place. I'm originally from Philadelphia, so when you grow up, yeah, not too far, but that type of environment, like, you just get fed up with all of the stress and anxiety, and you just get fed up. Yes, I was very, very hostile. Very, very.
You were?
Yes, there's still a little remnants of it in here, but I've learned to like care a lot less about everything. Okay. So it just keeps me chill.
Yeah, I like that piece. I believe in bringing the peace. That's where I'm at now in my life. That's why I'm keep going back to. I did feel that connection to what I seen of you on Instagram, YouTube. I've been checking you out. So,
thank you.
Yeah, you should have seen, and I'm always in. I will definitely leave a comment, because
yes, I do. Yeah, I appreciate the love that you give. Yes,
I always say thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Now, one of the things, I don't know if our audience has seen this, but you're just very talented too. I've seen you singing.
Yes, so that's my full time. That's my real job. Is I'm a performer. I'm a live singer. I sing with a few bands in the area, and I've been performing maybe like 15 years now. Yeah.
15 years, my goodness.
Yeah.
You look very young to me, so 15 years, I'm thinking what you were singing as a kid then.
Well, I actually just turned 35 a couple weeks ago, so I'm 35.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, now that I said the numbers out loud, it's probably been longer than 15, but 15 feels enough.
Right,
That's long enough.
right. Because you just don't jump up and start singing. You had to be
Yeah.
singing
Yeah. I've been singing like literally since I
forever.
was a kid, but
Right.
performing live, like, that probably did start in my teens. I was performing
Mhm.
in my teens. So maybe more than 15, but just saying 20 years for me just made me feel too mature. I don't think I'm as
You
mature.
don't really want to say it like that. So tell the people. So if I
Mhm.
come to the DC area, where can I find? Where can I go see
So
Tiffanie McCall live?
yes, I sing with a
Right
band
now.
called the Next Hour Band. It's a go-go band. The DMV areas are known
Oh,
for
doing the go-go.
go-go music. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Don't
It's
think I don't know. Please don't
and
think I
so
don't know.
yeah, it's been a transition because I've always been a R&B neo soul artist.
Okay.
So I moved to this area and that's the music that was around. So I was like, hey, there's nothing I can't do or can't learn
Oh,
to
honey,
do.
it's the go-go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I know about that
I sing with that
go-go.
band, and then I'm in a few other bands. I sing in like an agency band where we do like corporate events, weddings, things like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you what I seen because I was doing my research, right? Because I'm trying
Mhm.
to, about it.
Mhm.
So I see. I come to because one of my favorite artists is John Legend, and then I see
Mhm.
Tiffanie McCall singing all
On
of me, and I'm
YouTube.
like,
Oh my
hold up,
gosh, I was probably like
hold up,
20 years old when I did that. Ugh,
such a great job. Don't say,
it's a little cringy
well,
for me
you just
being.
can't just decide I'm going to sing all of me. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
be able to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something you have to have. Be able to, an ability you have to have.
Yeah, and I think this was like when YouTube first started, and I feel like if I had kept going with what I was doing, not knowing anything, if I just kept going, where could I be now? Because YouTube was like hardly anything when I
Right.
was putting those videos up. So yeah, but that was the little baby Tiff.
Baby Tiff was doing it. Okay. So let's go on because I have a lot of questions and I want to make sure I get to them all because they're going to help us get to know more about Tiffanie McCall and
Yes.
the Free Your Mind podcasters. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Let's
So
go.
this is number 2, but we're just gonna go on with it. If your shift, right,
Mm-hmm.
had a soundtrack, since you got the shift, right? So if your shift had a soundtrack, okay, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What would be the opening track? What would be the opening track?
Mm-hmm.
And what moment in your life does it describe? So if the shift had a soundtrack, which you may already play a soundtrack to the shift,
Right. It does
but
have a soundtrack actually.
yeah.
So
So
I think the shift for me, like my personal shift, it has so many layers and dimensions. There wasn't that was the moment when the light bulb went off. So I would say like that Beyonce Lemonade song when
okay,
she was walking through the street swinging the bat and breaking
yeah,
the
crashing
windows.
up
That
everything.
yeah, that would have been the opening song for that light bulb moment because that's where I was at that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
but through that journey, like there was a lot of things that happened. Like I went back to like people I was in relationship with before and was asking them who I was when I was with them. I started talking to people around me and asking them like what makes them happy because I felt lost and I was actually just kind of really in a dark space. So I was just kind of trying to figure out who I was, and I went into therapy. That was like a
That was
big shift
important.
because
That was
it
good.
brought a lot of things to realization, like a lot
Mhm.
of acknowledgement. She made me face myself, and that helped me to kind of get clear of how I got in the situation and what kind of life I wanted, how I wanted to show up, how I wanted to be. So I think the second song of that would, I don't know. Uh I don't know. I can't think of a song for that. It was so many periods, and at this point, they've all kind of jumbled together. But I would say the ending song right now would be Beyonce's "Freedom." The freedom, freedom, I can't.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you were a Beyonce girl,
I'm
like we all are.
I am
Somewhere there's a
definitely.
Beyonce song, and all of
I'm
us.
definitely on the Beehive. Yes.
Somewhere there's a Beyonce song, and all of
Yes.
us can't.
There's a Beyonce song in all of the journeys. I can find one too. I think at one point it was "Flaws and All" by Beyonce, and it was actually a love song to someone else, but it was a song I would sing to myself, like accepting myself. It's called "Flaws and All."
Flaws and all. Okay, I'm gonna check that one out. That one I kind of missed. I've been in the desert for a long time, so some things I just did not get.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful song. It's a ballad, but it's meant to be a love song to someone else. But I would sing it to myself, and it really was something that I kind of would check myself with, like accepting myself, flaws and all, regardless of how I show up, what mood I'm in, what I look like in this moment, like really accepting who I am, because that is the type of life that I want to live. That's who I want to be in relationship with, people who accept me for who I am, who love me for who I am, who I don't have to put on facade or fake or phony. I just want to be me. And I just want you to be happy to be here. That's it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Love me as I am.
As I am.
Don't try to mold me, change me, criticize
don't do it.
me, ridicule me. I've been there before. I've been there before. I've had one of them in my life, I have one of them in my life, and I allowed that person to take up a lot of time out of my life.
Seriously.
Yeah. Too much time. Like, I'm talking about 12, 13 years of my life. And then I woke up old, then I'm like, oh.
In that situation, I think the shift was at like maybe year 5, but it didn't end for like another year and a half.
Okay.
Actually, no, it probably was like year 4, and it didn't end for like another 2.5 years. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had to grow through getting out of that situation.
Okay, and I do understand that how you got to the breaking point, or to the pushback point, or close the door and don't open that point.
It was more like a open space, and then it became like a revolving door, and then eventually it became like a door that just opens and closes, and then it just like board up the building.
It just what? Board up the building?
Just board the whole building. Just shut the building down.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Up the building.
Yeah, that's how it ended. It started off as like an open floor plan. Okay, there's no doors, no windows, just here, and then eventually it went to a revolving door. For sure. For too long, it stayed at a revolving door for way too long. Then it was like an open and close.
I understand a revolving door, because I'm telling you, I've been through a similar situation. It may not have been like you say, the straw that broke the camel back was someone calling you out of your name, and you realize that this is talking to me like this. That was just like one of it. That was a straw that broke the camel back. It's not gonna work, but something similar. And I just believe that we all
go through our seasons.
Yeah, it might not be the same painting, but it's a painting.
It's something similar. Something could be a job, and something happened on that job that you may have even been dealing with for a long time, and then something happens where that light bulb goes off, and you're like, I don't want to work here. Or I don't want to work for you, or I don't want to do this career. Something needs to change because I really want to do something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just those moments will come. And the biggest thing that I always empower people to do is to assess where you are. And so when we're talking about this shift, that's always the very first step. It's just to acknowledge, because you can't change what you can't acknowledge. So you have to get clear on where you are. And then once you're clear on where you are, you'll start to think about, through that process, you'll start to identifying, and it's a word I'm looking for. You have a conviction when you're stuck in that situation. So once you recognize something that you don't like, even if you're not at the place where you can leave it, your conscious mind will start to convict you and reaffirm the fact that you don't want to be here, that this is not for you. And you will start to gravitate or lean towards the things that is in alignment with what you want. You'll start to move in that direction.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that is good. A lot of times you have to just identify because you need a plan. Sometimes you need a plan.
Yeah.
You know,
and a lot of times people don't
they might not even know you got a plan going.
Yeah.
You know, be like, keep on. I got my plan.
But what I want to speak to someone who is in that place. Okay. Not necessarily for the people that's around you, but what I would like to speak to the person who is in that stuck place, that you don't have to have all the answers figured out before you realize that you want something different. Don't keep yourself from taking one step forward because you don't know what the end is. Just continue to take one step. Everything will be revealed to you in its time. But once you decide that you're not happy or you're not where you want to be, take one step. Just take one step at a time.
Okay. So first step is just identifying, coming to the realization that you need a shift.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And you don't have to name it. You don't have to worry about trying to fix it or getting all the answers. Just say, I don't like this. That's a great place to start. Just you can figure out why you don't like it, how you got here, what you want to change. You can figure all of that stuff out. I implore you to assess the fact that you make it okay that you're not happy. It's okay.
Right. Okay. Go on to our next question because I got.
Okay. Can I get some water? I'm gonna give me a sip of water. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give a quick sip.
Okay, get your water. I'm gonna get my water with you. Here, I got mine.
I love what you're doing. I love your show, and I was able to check you out too a little bit. I did some research on you as well.
I don't want to be judged.
Oh no judgment ever.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that you're judging me. I don't want to be judged. I just want the people to, grow with me, allow me the opportunity to just be on the stage with you guys, even if I'm at the back. I will get there. It's how I see it. I'm learning. This is something very, very different for me, and I've never been.
I'm back.
I've never been a Toastmaster.
A Toastmaster, yeah.
I've never been a person who. I've always had a problem with public speaking.
Okay.
I've actually joined the Toastmasters like 2-3 times. Like, I'm gonna get through this. I do believe in fighting through my fears. I've never been, the good articulator.
And what I found, like in being in this podcasting space and learning about it, because I'm by no means am I like seasoned professional. I just started. We really just released our 6th episode, so we're in the building phase together. What I've learned is like you don't have to be perfect because there's someone who is going to be attracted to the way that you deliver whatever it is that you're saying or doing. So you don't have to be perfect. Just do it.
And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I said, you know what? I like the fact that, social media in itself is about, individuality. I do like that. And so even with the podcasting, I've seen all kinds of things, because I was in the desert. Like I was in the desert and all I did was click, go to YouTube because we didn't have, cable. We didn't have like that. So we had to do whatever we could do to just we still had our phones and stuff so we could get online,
Okay.
YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, those are our friends over there when you're in the desert. Depending on your situation, because sometimes you're in the desert, but you still could be in a civilized environment, and then sometimes not.
Right.
But most time for me, I was in the danger zone all those 20 years that I was over there. And
wow.
So we always had to just make do. And so, that would be our life. As soon as you could breathe, you just take yourself, out of the environment mentally and just get on, social media. I see people just wilding out and just doing whatever they want to do. And I was like, I want to be free.
Yep, that's it. Do
I
whatever
can't
you want.
wait. And so I always say to myself, soon as I'm out of here,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm just
Yeah.
going, I got
Do
lots of
it.
things to say, and then you're isolated over there also, so you don't really have a lot of people to talk to. And
Right.
I worked in a male predominant environment,
Okay.
so I really didn't have a lot of people to talk to because it was mechanics and stuff like that too. So,
Yeah.
it was just like doing things I just took care of the logistics of everything.
I got it. I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
So
So
social media is a great place to kind of meet different people, see
it is.
different things, be entertained. I mean, you can get lost in that
Yeah,
rabbit
you
hole
can
on social media.
get lost and challenged. So
Yes.
you're lost and challenged. So we're gonna go on to number 3 because I still got some questions for you. I don't want you to think you're
Okay. All
gonna
right.
run off this stage. Okay, question number 3. You talk a lot about the shift. How
Yes.
do you recognize the difference between discomfort that grows you, and misalignment that drains you? So the shift is it sometimes, stress is needed stress. And then I guess that's what they're saying. What's the
Mm-hmm.
question meaning? The question,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know the difference between discomfort and just misalignment? Because sometimes you have to be
Uncomfortable. Absolutely. So I think when there's discomfort because something is stretching you or something is challenging you, it comes with a different energy, right? So like having the podcast has its challenges which causes some discomfort. The end
yes.
goal is always in mind, and that continues to push me towards keeping going through the hard times and the challenges and things like people like you who saw the show and are, impacted in some way or see the content on social media and impacted or enjoy or share. Those things let me know that this staying up late to schedule all this content for the week is just a discomfort. It doesn't
Okay, I
this
got
is
you.
just a discomfort. This is just I would much rather like be sleep, but I can't go to sleep because I have so many things on my mind. This is a discomfort. And I think that one of the ways you will be able to identify that is there's going to be some positive, anytime you're in alignment, there's going to be a positive reaffirmation for that. So it may not be all the time, but it'll come. It's just the way that the universe goes. If you're giving the good will be returned to you. But a way that you know that and I want to get the wording right. So how did you phrase the second part? Because I want to make sure I address it
The
exactly.
second part was how do you know the difference between something that's uncomfortable, the
Right.
discomfort,
Got that one.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That should be normal, really, right?
Right. Right.
And then the misalignment that drains you, the thing that we're just saying this is too much.
Yeah. So I think with both of those, when there's a positive reaffirmation that you're heading in the right direction, there will not be a positive you will constantly, it's kind of like going against the grain, like you're constantly pulling away from what you're being drawn to, and it's going to be always met by turmoil or always met by some kind of misfortune or discomfort or letdown. There won't be any positive reaffirmation that you're going in the right direction.
Right.
If it's continuing to drain you, nothing should continuously drain you. If you're drained, that means eventually you're empty. So it can no longer drain you. So if it's constantly draining and you're at no time being filled back up, that's a clear sign that this is not the thing for you.
That is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
was very good. That was very
Mm-hmm.
good. And that's whether it's life, whether it's whatever it is, and whatever you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
that can apply. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So I thank you. Can you now describe a time you showed up as your highest self? Describe a time you showed up as your highest self
Mm-hmm.
before you even realized it. Because you do a lot of great things. I mean, you do.
I think when I had the concept of the show, so I had a lifestyle brand called affirmher.co, and it was created to empower, encourage, uplift, and inspire Black women to reclaim their power and again create the life that you want to live. So I think that that's why like all of this is like second nature, because I've already been doing the same type of thing, but that was just all about. It started off as the empowerment, but it then quickly shifted into selling clothes and being. It was a apparel line, so
It
it became
shifted to
all
what?
about sales. It shifted to like just being all about sales, 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 sales. I was not even worrying about the impact that I was having on people.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so I was talking to, which
Trying to
is
get the
now my
product
producer.
sales.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was just product sale. That was it. I was just trying to sell clothes at like that
Get to the
was my
money.
main focus. I was saying I was affirming her, and of course that was the message behind the brand, but my focus was just on selling and making profit. So when I was having the conversation, I kind of like got burnt out because there was no, this is what I'm saying, when you know something is just draining you and it's not giving any positive reaffirmation back to you to fill you back up, it's not in alignment with where you need to be. So when I had a conversation, I was just talking to a friend and I was just telling them like, I've had this concept about like doing a podcast and just talking, having these conversations and sharing people's stories, because I'm often changed by people's stories. That's how I love documentaries. That's how I learn. I learn through
Me too. I'm a
experience and stories.
documentary girl myself. So
Me, real bad.
yeah, yeah.
So when I had the conversation, it wasn't, and this was not, I called him a friend because he's my very good friend now, but at the time, we didn't hardly know each other at all. And he was like, that's going to be good. He was like, I need that. And so we were talking about the concept that I had in my mind, whatever. Nothing was like, this was just all thoughts. He came over to my house and I was telling him how I could just use my house, my space, and we can make it do what it do. We were here and we just started, the conversation started going. We were talking, him and the videographer were here together. In the midst of that first initial conversation, we begin to share. The videographer had been known as like someone who was very quiet, kind of mysterious, have a little anger issue or whatever. And he opened up and they were talking. They'd known each other for 20 plus years. They were talking. They were learning from each other. They were experiencing each other in a different way. And they are the ones who actually coined this house as the Freedom House, because they were like, it wasn't until here. I came in here in 20, 30 minutes. I know my brother more than I've ever known him. I've talked to him in a way. Yeah. And it was like, it had to be the power of this house. It has to be you. And I was like, dang, am I tight? Am I like that? Like, do I really, I feel like I have that power, but like, is it a real thing? So that's one thing that just kind of really stuck out when you asked that question. It was like, before I even knew.
That was good. That was a good answer. You got into that. I like the way you went right on into that, like that segue. Yeah, that is. I was like, did she answer this question? But
yeah, before I got into it, like
really
that was how. So one of the things I like to do is I like to tell stories. That's why my show be so long. I'm trying to work on reeling it in. But when you give when you tell the journey of something, people can connect not only to the answer, but to the story. So they can relate that story to them, to their own experiences.
Correct.
And so that is why sometimes it feels like I'm going off in a tangent, but I promise you it's going somewhere. Has a destination.
It's fine. I understand. I like it. I appreciate it because I am a talker. Okay. I am a talker. I can talk forever. I'm the person who is on the phone for 2-3 hours. It's ridiculous. I am that person because, I like conversation. Well, I'm an only child. So there's that.
I got it.
Well, I like when I have somebody else in the room.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
How about yourself? Do you have siblings?
I do have a younger sister. We're 7 years apart, so I kind of grew up like an only child, and then she got
we had enough space.
Yeah, we had enough space. So, and I'm not the type of person that be on the phone, sitting on the phone, talking for hours and hours. Like I literally don't. I'm always like up here in my mind. Right. So this is kind of stretching me. Yeah. So this is stretching me to get my thoughts out and have conversations. I'm loving this journey of podcasting for the things I'm learning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I am too. I love it. I hope that there's great things in store for the both of us.
For
You
the
know, I
both of
see it
us.
for you.
Yes.
I see
I
it for
see it for
you.
you too. I see it for
I'm
you
just okay. That's
too.
why I said for the both of us.
For
Just
the
throw me in
both
there
of
on
us. No, don't
attach
throw
me
you
to
in there.
the
You right there for the both
you
of
gonna
us.
attach me to
You taught
the
me something here. Doing this whole setup. You taught me something.
okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
That's all I got. I'm gonna grow. We're gonna grow.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what's the biggest shift you've made that looks crazy to the world, but was divinely right?
I got married on my 1 year anniversary for someone that I met at a club, and I talked to him for like a minute. Like we literally just exchanged numbers, and then like that, they went on about their business. They bought me a drink and went on about their business. I went back on my business, and we just began texting. 2 weeks later, she came to visit. Then
Okay.
COVID hit. Then 7 months later, we got engaged, and on our 12th month anniversary, we got married. So
So your 12 months, your anniversary of the day you met in that club.
the day that we decided to, so 2 weeks after we met, we decided to be in a relationship. So January
Okay.
the 3rd was the day we went together.
Okay. Oh, so
That's the day we went together. And then on
you
January the
decided you're gonna
3rd,
be exclusive, as they call it, exclusive.
yeah, there you go. It was immediately. As soon as we started talking on the phone, that was the last person I was talking to on the phone. Like the
Wow.
next day. Yeah. It
Okay.
was crazy. But then it seemed wild because I
But
would
it can
have
happen.
never, but it can. And it was like, I swear it led me to so many things, so many beautiful things
Yeah.
in
To some
life.
great. Yeah.
Great. Even even the podcast, like that, I attribute it just all happened in alignment, all happened, unfolded as a result of that initial shift, and then a lot of series of shifts. And then that
Right.
relationship was one that took things to another level. So it is
And then
taking
being
things
in
to
the right
another
place at
level.
the right time with the right person, and
Yes. The right thing's
it
going to
took
keep
off.
happening. That's
And
it.
it took off.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
It's still kind of crazy to me hearing it out loud, but it's real. It's real life.
Yeah,
Anybody
it's
else had
real.
it been
That's the
like?
story. That's why people say, well, people always like to ask the question, like, how did you meet your your
Mm-hmm.
significant other? And those
Mm-hmm.
are always, to me, it's never like, like the people who the Indians and stuff, how they, get married, or
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
whole thing where somebody just bought your husband or your wife.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was coincidence. You just
Yeah.
happened to be in the right place at the right
Literally
time,
just happened.
and in the right mood, and your heart open, your heart open, their heart open, and
Yep.
voila.
And I
That's
was
when
completely not looking for no relationship at all. I was not at all. I just was in a place where I was good with me. I spent so much time begging for someone to like me, let alone love me or be
I
in
can't even
relationship
imagine
with
that.
me. Whew, it's a different time. But yeah, I
Yeah,
was
but
begging
you are in
for.
the DMV, right? You are in the DMV where I know they say there's 10 women to a man, right?
Well, my marriage brought me here. I was living in Charlotte, North
Oh,
Carolina.
okay. When
My
all that was
my
going on.
wife, my wife born and raised in DC.
Okay,
I
okay.
was living in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had bought a house and I was living in Charlotte, and I happened to be in Atlanta off of some craziness. I'm not even gonna
Right.
go into what I was doing in Atlanta, but I
Okay,
was
good.
in Atlanta with my girlfriends, and my
Okay.
wife just happened to be in Atlanta with her best friend for her best friend's birthday.
Okay, so it was in Atlanta that y'all met.
Yeah, we literally met in Atlanta, and then went our separate way, literally our separate ways. Like I think the next day she was flying back to DC. I was leaving the club to drive to Charlotte. It was a crazy time. I was in my 20s, man. So don't judge
Okay.
me.
Those are the perfect times, though. That's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 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 So that was a time where something completely Unexpected just was
Unexpected. I
divine.
love the unexpected. That's what
Yeah.
we want to happen. Something, and that's
Mm-hmm.
good. That's unexpected
Mm-hmm.
good. You
Mm-hmm.
know, an unexpected
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that did answer that question. You good with answering questions.
I'm an
Yeah.
interviewer. I'm a podcaster. This is what I do. Have
You
conversation.
okay? Tell the people. Look, to the people in the back can hear that. Okay. So, here's my next question. What does freedom mean to you?
Mm.
Not just mentally, but generationally.
Generationally. I love it. I love it. Okay,
What do
that's a
you
great
think?
question because that's one of our key questions from our show. So I
Okay.
usually am the one asking it, but I just kind of interject my thoughts after the guests. So it's fun to be
Okay.
asked this question. How about okay? So freedom for me is the ability to live unapologetically and to not have to uh, shift or change to show up fully. So I'm my most free when I can be Tiffanie McCall without any holding back, without any fear of judgment, without any crazy thoughts or anything. I just show up fully as myself. That is freedom to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you asked that question. So my coaches do. I have a coach. Okay, so they're the one that
Okay.
pulls questions, and at least I got somebody.
Yes,
Have a
yes.
whole production, but I have a coach, and they
I
have
love that. I need a
helping
coach. I
me
do.
wonderfully. You know,
Yes. I need a
I
coach. That's on the
you
list
need
of
you need a
things to
coach. You
get.
need a coach too. I think you're doing great.
I need a coach. All coaches should have coaches. Your
True.
coach should have a coach. If I'm coaching other people, I should be having someone to coach me. All
Everybody
guys need
needs
a guy.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
that
Yep.
is
You
true.
can't do this alone.
Because somebody can always keep pushing you forward. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
recognize what you need to do or you didn't do, or help
Mm-hmm.
you with something
Mm-hmm.
to hand with. Because that's what I need. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
can you just help me?
Mm-hmm. But they would need to have learned in order to be able to teach. And
True.
so we should always be constantly learning. So we should always have some sort of coach or guidance, even if it's not a physical. I have a lot of coaches in my mind that they're not my physically like one-on-one coach, but I have a
Right.
lot of like life coaches. Like David Shantz is a coach of mine, but in my
For
mind.
sure.
So all coaches should definitely have a coach. I'm looking for more of like I have accountability partners. I do have that, but I need a more like one-on-one hand holding coach sometime.
And are you on the morning meetup?
I am in the morning meetup. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's raise the
Mm-hmm.
roof for the morning meetup. Okay, that's
Yes. Shout out to the morning
yeah.
meetup.
We
Mm-hmm.
podcasters. Let's give it to them.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I joined the morning meetup. I'll tell you when I was over there in the desert because I was watching
Mm-hmm.
concerts. That's how I met
Right.
David. But I
Right.
would come home because he's in Atlanta too. Well, at least
Okay.
he was. I think he's still in Atlanta. But I would come home. I even ran into him one time in the mall out there
Oh,
in
really? Wow.
what mall was I in? Oh, I can't even think of it now. It wasn't Lenox Mall. It's the other one. Okay, I
That's
can't think.
cool.
But anyways, yeah, I ran into him in the mall, and I didn't know his name, but I knew him because I seen him on the podcast. I thought he was Earn Your Leisure. He was like, oh, he was
That's
like,
funny.
oh, but I was just watching him then and had
Yeah.
seen we going up the escalator together,
Right.
And I
Right.
was telling my girlfriend, I said, that guy right there is so and so, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
or he's somebody that I was watching on the podcast, and she dragged me over there.
The meet
And
'em, yeah.
when I opened my mouth, we just going up the escalator. When I opened my mouth, I was like, "You're earning your legion." He was like, "No,"
Not
but
quite. But I think he is associated with them because they're all together,
oh, yeah,
like they're all friends.
yeah, they're all friends. At least now
Mhm.
they are. But
Yeah.
this was a while ago. This was definitely
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
This was definitely a while like when he like kind of first got started. Yeah,
Oh,
when he kind
okay.
of first
Okay.
got started, I didn't see like all his episodes, and
Yeah.
mhm.
I'm journeying through those episodes right now. I'm kind
You
of
are
like taking a break because I had got like sensory overload where I was like at episode like 300, and I'm like, I need to.
Yeah, I could say it's so many. All those people are
Right.
now like, what, multimillionaires?
Multi-millionaires. We coming though. We getting there. We getting there.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to our next question. If you go back and whisper one sentence to yourself right before your biggest life pivot, what would that be?
This is a hard question because I strongly believe like everything that happens is supposed to happen. So I don't know. What would I say? What I would whisper to myself.
Okay.
I would tell myself, remember who you are. Because I feel like sometimes you have to go through things to grow through things. But sometimes you take yourself like way off the path to eventually, because it's a divine path and you're not in control, ultimately, you're going to get back to where you need to be. But we can take ourselves way off of the path by forgetting who we are, by just not staying true to yourself and things like that. So I would say to myself, remember who you are. Because I do believe that was what I needed to hear at that moment of pivot. So remember who you are.
Okay. Okay. And that was great. Like I said, you got all the good answers. You got all the good answers. But seriously, because that is true. You definitely need to remember who you are, and you're definitely going to get thrown off in life. You're young, okay? So you're speaking a lot of wisdom. You may not think you're that young, but you're still very young. I'm 62.
I think I'm that young. I don't even tell people how old I am because I still feel like I'm in my 20s. In my mind, I still feel like I'm in my 20s. I don't want to. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to acknowledge it.
I think in my mind, I just feel fresh. I know we call it young, but I still think it's more fresh. I'm not feeling like, I guess I had a different outlook.
Yeah, you're youthful.
What, old should be. And sometimes I see it and I'm thinking, I'm not that yet. So I just say I'm kind of still fresh in the mind.
Yeah.
I'm fresh, like a lot of older people. And then I don't want to get off, our path because it's definitely all about you. But sometimes I think the older people just like for technology and social media, keeping up, they're like, what you mean, you still here?
You still here.
You still here. You need to be, pulling up to the bumper, baby.
Listen, if you would think about where technology has come in my lifetime, 20 years ago, I was 15. We barely could text. We was just starting to text.
Right.
We was just starting to text, and now I could talk on my phone through my watch. Like that's now we FaceTime and we buying groceries through Alexa. And
I went to Whole Foods the other day that you could just put your handprint and pay for your groceries. I'm like,
wait, what?
Put your handprint.
That's going too far now. That's going to
take my handprint then.
That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. But yeah, so if you're not ready to leave out of here, you might want to just learn. Get with the times.
Get the program.
Get with the program.
And I know I missed naming or mentioning our second segment, but this third segment we just gonna go on and mention.
Okay.
It's the free flow. The free flow, fun and unexpected.
Yeah, it sounds right where we at.
Okay. Yeah.
It sounds right exactly where we are.
It does.
So you say you put your handprint and you pay for your groceries? How did that work? How did they get your handprint?
Facebook at Whole Foods? Yes.
So how they get it?
How does it get it?
How does it get your handprint?
Okay, it's kind of like how it does, your fingerprint when you touch your computer.
Right.
Wow, it made me touch it. It's like how when you touch your computer, You said, how does it get it?
Yeah, how does it get the money though?
Oh, okay. I know what you're asking. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have
What's
to tell
that?
you this. I know that you can do it, but I have not done it.
Right. That's
I have not
scary.
done it. They have to set you up, but it's in Whole Foods. They have
Oh,
to set
okay.
you up. I'm imagining that they just take your card and tie it to your hand. You know,
Oh nah. No, because
it's
when
gonna
some
happen. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do
you
it,
are
and then
going to.
of course,
Go
yeah,
ahead. You brave. That's
of
much
course.
braver than me.
Yeah,
I'll
they
be a
take your
little weary
card and
about the
tie it to your
Apple
hand because
Pay.
you don't even have to have your card.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to have your card. You just it's already in place.
Mm,
The people who have their hand attached to their card is doing that.
that's too
It's going to
scary
be
for
like
me.
your eyes. You know, you can open the door with your eyes. Just
Yeah,
recognition.
I guess. Yeah, I guess I
You
can
know
see
what it
that.
is?
Oh, I'll just stick to Apple Pay.
Biometrics.
That's as
That's
close
what it
as
is.
I can get. I'm gonna stick to Apple Pay for now.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. You sound like you
Yeah.
in the old zone.
It's a little. It's some stuff be moving too fast. Like
But
some stuff
sometimes you
be.
want to take it a little slow because that might be too much, like you said, too much too fast.
Yeah, that's too much too
Like
fast. Y'all don't have the
that's a
kinks
lot.
worked out. Now,
I mean, and
now
then they screw it up there real quick. And I'm like, what?
yeah, because now
I
somebody
see
going
some
with my
things.
handprint, gonna take a copy of my hand and just be buying stuff. Like it's just too much. Just slow down.
But
Slow
because your
down.
handprint, like your fingerprint, is only uniquely yours, no one else can do it.
Yeah, but if they take a picture of my hand or like a copy of my hand, I don't know. I watch too much
You're right.
crime
You're right. No, you're
TV
right. The
and
forensic
too
stuff.
much true
They
crime.
probably
They done
could,
cut my arm off and like
but they could, because like on TV, they show on TV how you get a dead person and they put in their person face recognition
yes.
phone up. I'm
That's too
like, oh,
much.
okay.
Yeah, that's
You
too
must
much.
already know that could be too much.
Yeah, yeah. Take me slow. Just Apple Pay is cool.
I'm gonna do a hand thing though. I'm gonna just put it to a card that don't have no money on it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Just to try it
You
out.
gotta put it to something that it don't
Yeah, you
matter.
can't
You
pull
just
from it. Yeah,
right.
that's a good idea. I can
Yeah.
try that.
Or I don't know if it's only set up for a debit card. That's where you get the problem.
Oof,
If it's
it's
a
too
credit card,
much.
okay, go ahead. You know what I mean? I can
Yeah,
always
I'm gonna cut
dispute
that
it.
off.
Yeah, you can cut
Hmm.
it off, you can dispute it, all the other good stuff. So let's go on to our next question. We're in segment 3. Like I said, the free flow, fun and unexpected. You can
Hmm.
invite 3 people, living or ancestral, to a free your mind dinner party. Who are they and why?
Oh, 3. I can only invite 3.
Only
If I
3.
invite them, they guarantee to come, right?
Yeah, they coming. Unless they been
So
here.
we
If it's an ancestral, that must mean not here.
right.
Join
Okay.
us. They're coming. They coming. Okay.
The
We're gonna
number one
bring
person
them
I
back
would
like
invite, number one person I would invite would be Beyonce.
of course.
I would have
I
to
got
invite
that. I
Beyonce.
got that from
Yeah,
you
I would
that
have to
she is
invite her.
coming.
She's gonna come. Yes. The
Yeah.
second person would be Lisa Nichols because
Who's this?
Lisa Nichols, she's like one of the top motivational speakers and my life coach in my mind. Like she's not my actual life coach. I've never met her in person, but like if I ever had the opportunity, conferences, anywhere she's at and she's speaking, I'm trying to be there because I
Does
love
she have
her.
dreads?
She wears a lot of like the twists.
The
It's
twist.
not
Not dreads?
exactly dress. No, it's like interlock or crochet. Yeah.
Okay, that's not the
Or
person I'm
braids.
because I'm thinking I know Lisa. I mean, I don't know Lisa Nichols. I don't know her name, I don't think, but she does TED Talks.
Yeah, she does do TikTok. She did The
I might know who
Secret.
you're talking about. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna write that down.
She's on The Secret. If you've read the book or watched the documentary about The Secret.
Okay, I'm writing that down too.
Yeah. And so my third person, I don't know, who will my third person be?
So you got Beyonce
If
and
I can
Lisa.
be if I can have anybody be there.
Living or ancestral. To your dinner party.
To my dinner party. I think it's so many people to narrow it down. That's what I'm saying. 3 is so hard because there's so many people I want to have. But I think I would have to have the OG Ida B. Wells in the building.
Ida B. Wells?
Yeah, she got to be in the building because I love a trailblazer. I like people who are unapologetic and who are unafraid and say whatever they need to say, and they don't back down, big or small. They get in your face and tell you what you need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, those are my type of people that are trying to impact change.
That's me.
Yeah,
that is me. Okay,
yes,
that's me.
and that's why I'm here.
Freelancing.
But their goal is to impact change. You know, they have a purpose and a reason. They're not just loud for no reason. They have a purpose and a reason. And if I gotta yell, if I gotta be loud, if I gotta be confrontational to make you understand what I'm trying to say, I'm gonna do it. If I have to revitalize the game in order to let you know and remind you that I deserve to be here, I am the trendsetter. Yeah, so those are the three I would probably, if I had to pick.
That's good.
If you asked me tomorrow, I had three more different people.
You do the other three.
Yeah, today is Ida, Lisa Nichols, Beyonce, and Lisa Nichols probably going to be at every party I would have if I could have.
So, do you think Beyonce and Lisa Nichols would get along?
Yeah, I think Beyonce and Lisa Nichols. I think Lisa
and Ida will. Yeah.
Oh, I know for a fact Beyonce and Ida B. Wells would get along. I know for a fact. And I strongly believe that Lisa Nichols would get along with, like, I feel like me and Lisa Nichols would be fangirling over Beyonce, and Beyonce would probably be fangirling over Lisa Nichols and Ida B. Wells. So we all just,
all right.
Yeah. Be inspired by each other. Mm-hmm.
That's a good dinner. That is a good dinner party.
We'll have some fun. Because I believe all of them like to have a good time. They all like to have a good time like me. We're going to turn up. We're going to have a couple drinks. We're going to have a good time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to our next question. What's one ritual you do that makes you feel like magic to your soul? Ritual that you do that feels like magic to your soul.
So if you watch my show, you probably heard me say this a million times, but I dance to Megan Thee Stallion. I twerk. It makes me feel magic in my soul.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion. And have me a drink.
What Megan Thee Stallion does. I've seen her.
And I have me a drink. Those are the two things I do. I know you said pick one. Dancing in the mirror is the one, but close second is having a cocktail.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next time we are definitely going to. I'll just, because I wanted to do this. I thought about it in the car when I was coming here, trying to hurry up and get ready. I said, what would have been fantastic if I would have sent you a bottle of wine, and then we had the same bottle of wine.
Oh, you would not have had to send me anything. All you would have to do is say, "Girl, we having a drink on the call," and I'd have been like, "Say less," because one thing I do is I don't have no conversations without libations. Okay. So
that's a big. I've seen it on your podcast.
That's a big part of my show. We like to drink and we like to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I am definitely a wine and champagne girl.
I'm a champagne girl.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. You see, but I was saying I would have wanted to send it to you. That's just me being me, like the,
Well, I would have greatly appreciated. You still can. If you feel led, if you feel so led, you still can. I will not stop you.
I will. And I will. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. So you're going to be twerking in the mirror to Megan Thee Stallion.
Yep. Saying my affirmations while I'm busting it down in the mirror. Okay. That's how I shift. That's how I turn it around. When I'm feeling mad or stressed out, I do those things, and then I can address whatever the situation. But yeah, that's what I do for me.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What's something you've unlearned that made you laugh out loud? Something you've unlearned that made you laugh out loud afterwards?
That I'm not always right. I'm laughing saying it. Yeah, I'm laughing saying it.
Okay.
And I'm not always right. Yeah, because I think I think I'm right, and then I don't consider other sides of the story or whatever the case may be. And so I had to unlearn that I'm not always right, and to listen intentionally so that I can get a clear picture, and then, make a decision on whatever. But when you go into a situation you think you're right, that means you're unable to learn.
Correct. And that comes with being married too. You have to compromise.
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
have to take somebody else's opinion
Yeah.
and consider it deeply.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
marriage helps that.
Yes, it definitely has helped that. I think that I didn't get it until after I was married, until probably last night. It's like, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay, so finish this sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I feel most free when
I feel most free when me and my best friends are all together. And we usually have all of us have spouses, so we all get together various times throughout the year, and I feel most free when we are all together.
With the spouses or without the spouses?
The spouses could be there if they want to or not. It don't really matter as long as we all together.
Okay,
Because luckily we all have spouses who know who we are and know who our friends are. Like, we all come as a package deal. Yeah, we all come as a package deal. So like, when I'm with them, I'm their little wife too. And then when they with us, they are a little wife too. Like, I call them best friend-in-laws. They're the spouses, because we are literally all a package deal. So those are my most freest moments.
Best friend-in-laws. Well,
I made that up. You will probably never hear nobody say it. Yeah, I made that up.
Okay. I tend to make let them know.
I tend to make words up.
Yes. Best friend-in-law. Okay.
Yes, I tend to make things up.
But I'm not saying yes, you make things up. I'm just saying I know that was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah, I made that up, and I call them that, and they be like, "Okay, yeah, my best friend-in-law." Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So I want you to pick one.
Okay.
Soul shift or mind shift, and why?
Definitely mind shift. And because everything starts off in your mind. Your brain literally tells every piece of your body. It communicates with every piece of your body. So there's nothing that your body, physical, anything you can't think, which is connected to your soul being, without your mind. So I believe your mind shift first. Yeah, always.
Yeah, I have to put mind shift over soul shift also, because the mind shift will help the soul shift.
Your soul's not going to shift if your mind is not. If your mind first is not recognizing there's somewhere else to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiffanie, I am out of my questions.
Oh, well, I have so thoroughly enjoyed this.
Have you enjoyed it? Because I know I've enjoyed
Yes.
myself.
This was a good time.
So proud of this one.
Yes, this was a
I
good
feel
time.
so proud that I got a chance to actually. I think that I already knew that this conversation we're having would go this way. I know you're just a positive person, and I love positivity. Anything else is just I can't be in the space. I feel like I'm it's a circle trying to get in the square, or square trying to get in the circle.
Yes. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, I need positivity or I'm out.
Yes, me too. No bad vibes.
Space, you know what I'm saying?
No bad vibes.
Yeah. So is there anything else that we need to make sure you have?
Oh, well,
please tell us.
I did want to let everyone know to be sure to like and share and subscribe to Free Your Mind Podcast on YouTube. It's Free Your Mind Pod. You can follow us on all socials as freeyourmind.pod. All socials, that's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We show up in all those spaces. And I would just invite you to just tune in with us. We're learning, we're growing, but we have some really good, empowering, informational content that we put out. And I think that is life-changing, or can be life-changing. If you see something and you know someone who could benefit from it, share it with them too.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
That's been real great. That's been real great. And all I could tell you is thank you so much. I'm
Mhm.
grateful for just being in your presence, having you in my presence,
Yes, me
and
too. Thank you so much for
I wish
having
you,
me.
yeah, and I wish you the very best. So
Thank you.
until next time,
All right.
be Esthering.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Well, I'll edit this, Tiffany. I just need to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. It's gonna make me play this outro thing, but